So anime enjoyers like me, I didn't watch anime for like 2 years, maybe already 3. Yep. So I want to know. I didn't even like followed anime in 2025. Yeah. My name is Calapara, by the way. So I didn't follow anime in 2025. Last time I even followed anime, yeah, that was in 2022, 2023, around that time, yeah. And now I'm gonna watch it because I genuinely want to know. Okay, we're gonna subscribe, obviously, yeah. Um, okay, let's go. I expect there was a good anime coming. Like, I don't follow anime, but I watch anime. Kinda, yeah, kinda hard to understand it, yeah. For example, if second season of The Dungeons in My Heart, I think it came out this year, yeah, in 2025. I watched it, yeah, with great pleasure. One of the best romance anime out there you can even watch.
Times,
It's
uncertain
pure.
futures,
Pure.
but if there was one thing I could rely on to pull through, of course, it was anime.
That's a boy. One Punch Man, yeah.
Over anime's position in the world, 2025 has undoubtedly proven it is not just popular, but there are titles that can achieve full-blown mainstream success. Demon Slayer became not only the highest-grossing anime movie of all time, but broke into the top 10 grossing movies of the year, beating out such IPs as How to Train Your Dragon and frickin' Superman. This movie was an absolute spectacle that delivered the Demon Slayer experience I expected, but damn did it feel long. I think about an hour in, I left to go pee, managed to find time to finish my college degree, got a job, started a family, came back, and I think we're about halfway through the Yakuza flashback. But they weren't the only one in the headlines, because One Punch Man fans ate this year.
Shit.
And then collectively threw up. After 6 years of waiting, One Punch Man dropped a bomb not even Oppenheimer could recreate, giving us a season of animation so impressive, Google Slides is about to license it out as an add-on.
This was one of the worst seasons of all time. Even Berserk was good. Even Berserk, instead of I would watch Berserk season 3 or season 2, yeah. Instead of this, 2017 even. Berserk 2017. That's how dog shit it was. But actually, I actually enjoyed Berserk. Even for, I'm a dog shit. I'm a shit eater. I like isekais. So, tell me.
Everything good comes in threes. We've had the big three of World War II, the big three of colleges, the big three of tennis, the big three of shonen. And now, this year has finally given us the big three of frames. As the community responded to this failure on this year has finally given us the big three.
Isn't this month? Wait, seriously? Anime came out? I need to watch it.
As the community responded to this failure on a scale anime had not seen before, Berserk fans could only helplessly watch this unfold on the sidelines like,
hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal? That's what this is. Wake up, you're in the middle of it. Stop complaining.
This was the year where 2 letters shot fear into anyone that heard them. AI.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology?
Technology!
And the anime community was not immune to its effects. We had masses of fake scenes posted with the release of Sora 2. Grok got its own AI companion, as if people weren't lonely enough, and of course, OpenAI allowed users to flood the internet with Ghibli AI drawings. Looking Miyazaki right to the eye and thinking, man, I don't think you hate anime enough yet. And if you're like me and just realized that all this happened within the space of 1 year, yeah. I know. I wouldn't blame you if being on the internet felt exhausting at some points this year, and the online landscape was as confusing as ever to navigate. We needed hope. We needed positivity. We were yearning for some real human interaction.
Yeah.
Raise your hands up! I beg of you! There's no time left!
Don't be afraid! He's a very good man!
Offer up your energy!
He united everyone.
But the year ended with actual people united under one banner. One drawing a Freeren with a chin so chopped she could withstand an uppercut from Mike Tyson. The voice actor for Freeren changed it to her profile picture as artists all around the world came together to help draw her in a rare case of all-around positivity being spread online. This was the alive human theory. Real human-to-human interaction. No bots, no AI, just sheer determination to pick up a pencil and the will to follow what we knew Himmel the hero would do. Once and for all, proving the strongest AI AI slop can still be defeated by the weakest pencil user. Did anything else happen this year? Oh yeah, I made my own anime or something. This
what?
is the part where I normally get to my honorable mentions, but today I have something else I need to mention honorably, and that's
That's
today's
Arknight.
sponsor, Arknight's Enfield.
Yeah, play this game. This game is not for everyone, but yeah, this game is enjoyable, but not for everyone. So
It is finally over. I've talked
Let's
about
just-
it. I streamed the beta, and
Yeah.
now with over 30 million global pre-registrations
Let's
under
just
its belt,
watch it.
Arknight If this is your first time here, I rarely put continuations of shows I've already talked about on previous lists unless it really
Yeah.
goes above and beyond and gives me
Digital?
something new to
Attack
say
on
about
Titan,
it.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean I didn't continue enjoying
Oh,
them.
this
It's
anime.
above and beyond and gives me something new
This
to say
show.
about it. But that
this anime, done. Yeah, I've watched the manga. I read the manga. I dropped the manga. Either because it was not. It was like 13 chapters, and I was like, that's a good read. I'm gonna save it up for later. And now it just came out to anime. Or there was something that irritated me, and I just like, fuck it.
doesn't mean I didn't continue enjoying them. Done. Might not have gotten the same buzz that episode 7 provided, but I've really enjoyed the character-focused development we got. Everyone likes to talk about the weirdness or the flashy action, but this shit is doing romance better than most romance anime right now. About a year ago, I introduced my anime illiterate mum to Apothecary Diaries, so I thought I'd be a loving son this year and save myself from watching season 2 until the Christmas break so I can experience it with her, by which point she had already watched it 4 times. She still doesn't even know its name. She just calls it Mau Mau. City, the animation, really did not lie about its name. Being in the game, she just
He didn't watch it, but no time to watch it. Yeah. Well, this anime is good. People tell it. Yeah. But I'm gonna watch. This is the same with Free. I want to watch it. I keep forgetting about it.
calls it Mau Mau. City, the animation, really did not lie about its name, being in my top 3 of best animated shows of the year that was so close to making the list, but just didn't quite meet the same level of unhinged, gut-busting laughter Nichijou gave me. Now if we're talking most unhinged show this year, that was Nukitashi.
Ah! I want to watch this. I want to watch this. I want to watch this. I don't know if that's anime, yeah? 12 episodes. So I'm gonna watch it.
I would love to talk about this one more, but the amount of frames I'd be able to get away showing here would equal that of an episode of One Punch Man 3. So now I know you're going to ask me about this, so
So 11. That's a hard topic to talk about. I'm just gonna. I don't want to pause too much. Yeah. Since the video is gonna be like 1 hour. But so 11 is that anime, manga anime. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah. That you need to watch with your brain shut off. That's just a farming MC that kills everyone. He has a royal, like he gets everything. It's just that type of anime. Or you can call it isekai. No, that's not isekai, by the way. Usually isekai has that, yeah. This anime is
let
like,
me just
eh.
set the record straight.
And the anime award goes to... Oh... Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling.
I like Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is a series that knows exactly what it is. It does one thing, but does that one
Yeah.
thing so exceedingly
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you do not care about anything else.
Yeah.
And this season delivered some of the best power fantasy or
Yeah,
farming
second
action
season was
spectacle
amazing.
you can find, and I ate it up. But that doesn't also mean I think it's the best anime, or has the best main character. To me, this is not a 3-star Michelin dish, it is a McDonald's chicken nugget, but the best fucking nugget you've tasted in your life. And who wants to live in a world without nugs?
Me?
Nice.
Last year, I did a cop-out by putting a movie at the top of the list. Thankfully, this year was so stacked with choices, I didn't need to do that again. But if I did, 2 titles would definitely
I don't
be
watch
making
movies.
the list. Chainsaw Man lived up to the absolute cinema meme it originally started. This wasn't just another shonen movie adaptation. It was a perfectly crafted cinematic experience.
Ah, is it?
And I think it says a lot that for how much jaw-dropping, mind-blowing action sequences this movie delivered on,
I need to watch it.
serene pool scene is the one my mind always comes back to. But standing toe-to-toe with that, in my eyes, is 100 meters. If Chainsaw Man was that critically acclaimed blockbuster, 100 meters would be that Oscar-nominated indie movie with moments equally as breathtaking and cinematic.
Sell it
Cinema.
to me. Come on.
This is a film about running. About peoples whose lives are about running. You see people who destroy their lives over obsessions, over chasing records, chasing achievements, sacrificing everything, only to wonder what the point of it all was to begin with. You see people unable to fully commit to themselves,
This anime. Oh,
wonder what the point of it all was to begin.
look closer.
You see people unable to fully commit to themselves in
This is perfecto.
fear of finding out they're not as good as they think they are, crafting a prison of their own.
This animation looks AI, but
anxieties they're unable to break
it's like
out of.
rotoscope,
You see
yeah,
people so
you know?
desperately searching for meaning in what they do, unsure if they live to run or run to live. People who've always been second best, yet still have not given up on believing in themselves. Breaking
This
the
animation is
reality life
smooth,
crafted for them,
like
and then
60
halfway
FPS
through the movie,
animation.
you take a step back and think, wait. We're still talking about running, right? This movie doesn't just speak to the soul.
Yeah, yeah.
Goddamn drags it out, shakes it by the scruff of its neck, and shouts full volume at it. Somebody, somewhere is going to find this movie at the right time of their lives, and there's going to be a line uttered by a character in here that shoots so deeply to their core, they're going to switch their life into manual mode after having lived it on auto the entire time.
大概
Do you ever feel like if you
Yeah.
watch enough anime, so many of them don't just start looking the same, but also start to feel the same? Gachiakta spits on that, taking pre-established conventions and says, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. This is set in the world of trash, taste. But unlike the latter, there is absolutely nothing garbage flavor about presenting one of the most insane worlds shonen has to offer. Have a look at these characters. Now, unless you
This is isekai. The only isekai is good. It's fun. This one. And this is not isekai, I think. This is in VR game. Look, okay, let me just see. Yeah. This anime just takes place in VR game, I think. This one is shit. Not great. Those two I don't even know.
already seen them, you might not be able to tell that these are 5 characters from 5 completely different shows.
They're the same picture.
Now take one character from Gachiakta. Not only will you never be able to mistake the show they're from, but their style, their attitude, how they carry themselves, everything about them screams expression that you know exactly what type of personality they have. Now multiply that by all the minor characters you'll ever see. Gachiakta has a design philosophy that permeates every single aspect of the show, creating a visual language with a vibe that is absolutely unmatched. Neon lights flood the back alleys, the streets are crude and gritty, with a stench that almost permeates through the screen. Graffiti plasters
Give you a
every
bug.
wall you walk past. The world doesn't just feel lived in. Every little detail exudes a sense of character that communicates a story to you without having to utter a single word. The author teamed up with a real graffiti artist to help craft the art behind it, which just adds that layer of authenticity to its visual identity. And also, just look at her. She is a character in her own world. Then you have the power system. It's trash. Parentheses affectionate. Having a system where objects treated with love and care are imbued with powers is not only original, but serves as another vehicle for characters to express themselves. It's the only show where you'll see characters use scissors, umbrellas, gloves, hair cones, and glasses as weapons, but then you start to wonder, why is that object this character's vital instrument? What does that say about their personality, their backstory? Which objects do I have that define me? It's ideas like this that feed your
Let's be
imagination.
real, no
so
one
the
thinks
thing
about
opens
it.
up, and that's what I felt watching Gachiakta in its entirety. It might not be the most polished shonen of our generation or have a story that pushes it to new boundaries, yet I constantly found myself hitting that next episode just so I could spend a bit more time in the insane world it created.
Oh, whoa. Just saw something that look closely. I just
A bit
changed the
more time
category.
in the insane world it created.
It's right here. No. It's on top. What the fuck?
fantasy is
I'm so lost at this anime. Like anime. I saw
the
anime. How
double-edged sword of the anime world.
anime? Yeah, anime. Of this 24, 25, I don't even know what
Some of
it
the
is.
most critically acclaimed, beloved shows in the entire medium, respected by everyone who watches them. But swing the other side, and you're greeted with some of the trashiest, stinkiest shows you can find in the medium. And I'm not talking about the gachiakta kind. So when a new fantasy anime comes out, I'm always thinking, which side is this one gonna swing? Alright, looks like we've got some hyper-violent action. Could be edgy, could be mature, unsure. Oh hey, there's proper thought put into the world building and politics, so it's not just the same copy-paste Demon Lord fantasy world. That swings that way. Okay, the hero's been given an immortal body. Sounds like this could potentially be power fantasy-ish. Yeah, that's a little stinky. But then, I watch as the hero
What?
beats herself off a cliff, leaving just her mangled corpse remaining, only to have her body parts grotesquely shoved back into place as you hear the crackling of bones over the most guttural scream of pain as her body is forcibly put back together, little by little, while the bandits around her can only watch on in horror. And it was this moment that I realized, oh, I'm in.
Approved.
Cleaver-Tess is the kind of brutal
Right,
dark
is
fantasy
she
show I've been
immune?
missing.
Like, if
Not a
she
full-
immune body, what he said, yeah. What if you're gonna cut out the part of the body? For example, arm. Is it just gonna go off and just be painful?
On
Okay,
masterpiece like
probably.
Berserk, but just a fun show that takes itself just seriously enough. You have a protagonist that is heroic and kicks ass without being annoyingly idealistic or stupidly overpowered. Also, she has an eye patch. The world and power system isn't just copying off every other power fantasy out there. The protagonist has an eye patch. The violence is gratuitous while being purposeful and setting the tone of the story. You can see the hallmarks of what could have turned into an edgy fantasy, slavery, prostitution, but then you're reminded that anime can actually treat these subjects with the weight that they deserve. It's not always for the faint of heart, but it's the kind of grungy 90s fantasy show anime hasn't seen in a long time. She's got a goddamn eye patch!
Oh wait.
You
Another
ever see a new parent
skating.
and how their eyes lights up when talking about their kids? They show you a million photos of the same
Oh, I know
pose.
this.
They brag about the smallest achievement their kid was able to do. You feel a sense of pride you've never felt
No,
before
I think I don't
towards
know.
anything else
I don't
when
know,
they
yeah.
speak. That's what watching Medalist makes you feel like. This is a show about ice skating, but it's also a show about role models and the rewards of what being a great role model can get
This
you.
actually sounds
Inori
great,
is an
by the way.
11-year-old girl who's been told she's too old to enter the figure skating world. She's shy, insecure, and collects worms for a hobby. This girl is going to get absolutely destroyed in school. But just by finding one person that believes in her, she's able to see something in herself that she never could before, shine in a way she never believed, and you're invited to be a part of that transformation. Medalist grabs you with grounded, well-realized characters all around, doing something revolutionary by treating its child characters like normal
That's 3D?
characters. Doing
That's
something
3D only, yeah?
revolutionary by treating
Yeah, that's 3D.
its child
3D and anime just took so
characters
big of a
like-
turn.
normal
On plus side.
characters. Because
That's
did
insane.
you know
That's good.
children are people too? When you think about it, it's kind of fucked up how much your life insecurities and self-image are defined by a few early moments in your life. Maybe a teacher said that you were dumb, and then from then on you just accept that as a fact. Or maybe, hypothetically, you were told your hair looks silly, so you start spiking it up like fucking Sasuke. Or a friend said you were boring, so you buy this Scarface poster to pretend like you have a personality. Or you look like a nerd with glasses, so you start wearing contacts every day. So seeing someone who was able to be set on the correct path because they found the right person,
Don't listen
found
to
the right
anybody
role
if
model,
they-
spoke to a part of my younger self that might not have gotten that same opportunity. Every small achievement,
Only
every
if it's
small
viable
step they take becomes
advice,
a
that's
collective
all.
win. And when they pull through and hit that complete triple axel,
Yeah,
after
this
numerous
3D
falls,
is
you'll be shedding
insane.
tears like a proud dad telling the person next to you, "That's my kid.
This one is
Yeah,
clunky. This
That's
one was
my
clunky.
kid."
There's 7 more. Wait,
Horror
what?
is one of those genres anime rarely gets right. On one hand, I think the medium makes it harder to get
It was in
genuine scares compared
2025?
to its live-action counterparts, but then one too many times we get a promising project like Uzumaki that took a bit too much inspiration from its source material and spiraled its own production into madness. I was beginning to lose faith, but thankfully the summer Hikaru died not only restored that, but has set the bar of how anime can achieve horror of the highest quality. So you may be wondering, what's so different about this one?
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
I'd heard so many great things about this manga, but I watched the anime knowing nothing about it. I wanted to go in raw, and apparently, so did they. And within the first few minutes, it's evidently clear how this show succeeds where so many others have faltered. Almost immediately, you are drawn in with this eerie sense of dread that crawls under your skin and doesn't let up. Every scene
Is it gay?
sinister air as thick as the summer
Probably not,
humidity
yeah.
you're watching on screen. It's
But
not about
does it
jump
matter?
scares. It's the
Doesn't matter,
ghastly
no.
imagery that gives you a peek into
The only
eldritch
thing that matters
horrors
is
that lay beneath the
story.
shadows. Horrific entities brought
Story,
to
yeah.
life with haunting arts that make the hair on the back of your neck stand. Atmosphere is why this is a masterclass of animated horror.
Yeah.
Behind all that
If the horror is only screamers, you need to understand this. If the horror is only screamers without atmosphere, this is a shit horror. This is just this is nothing. That's why Higurashi, for me, yeah, is one of the best horror anime of all time. I don't know about season 2. Yeah. I tried to read novel, visual novel, VN, yeah. I read it, I think I forgot about it.
though is a succinct exploration of grief and love between two bros that is 100% undeniably, categorically platonic.
So gross. So good.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I mean, just look at this man. He's so straight, he's about to have sex with another man, so he knows what the woman he goes on dates with will feel like. Cause you know, when you have a Lovecraftian nightmare creature wearing the skin of your dead friends, you first gotta figure out so many things. What is it?
Whoa.
Is it dangerous? Does it come in peace? Or just you?
You know, maybe Michael's gay, maybe he's not. He is.
This looks in. Oh. Okay.
China.
Has continually been on the rise in the animation space.
Ah.
And this year, it really felt like there was always at least one show per season that stood out in the highly competitive world of animation to be one of the hot shows to watch. And
This
in my
looks
eyes,
nice.
Their crowning achievement of 2025 came in the form of To Be Hero X. This is China's own take into the superhero genre that asks the question, what would society be like if people could gain superpowers based on the social media influence they have?
Ooh.
It's now a world superpower. OnlyFans is more powerful
Ooh.
than Disney. But in the world of what would society be like if people could gain superpowers based on the social media influence
This
they have?
sounds
India is now
fucking
a world
insane.
superpower. OnlyFans is more powerful than Disney. But in the world of 2B Hero X, anyone can gain superpowers as long as you are able to convince the masses to believe in you. Trust is how you gain power in this world. People's mass perceptions dictate not only who becomes a superhero, but the types of powers they get and the life they lead.
I need to watch it,
Birdman,
yeah.
a firefighter who saved a young girl from a falling ceiling that went viral, gaining him the power of incredible strength and invulnerability at the expense of never being able to take a proper shit ever again because he can never bend over thanks to his immovable image. Then there's this guy. He got his powers from a League of Legends chat lobby. The risk with a series like this is that you lack a central protagonist to be able to follow the story through, but it more than makes up for it by being able to explore a multitude of interesting ideas with the premise that they've set up. Not every story is as equally compelling as the next, but every hero is wholly distinct both thematically and visually. Slowly but surely, you are able to piece together the timeline of events and see it all come together at the end. And if that wasn't enough for a reason to watch it, then there's also
I'm gonna watch it
Hero
actually, yeah.
X, who has the interesting ability to run through a season's worth of animation budget every time he snaps his fingers. Outside of the unique world setting and power system, this has some of the coolest action sequences I've seen in an animated TV series. And if that still isn't enough for a reason to jump on, watch it because the creator's a pretty cool guy also. I don't know where I heard that one from.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of misery, but it is the same misery that is all around us.
Child, what?
The trees here are in misery and the birds are in misery. I don't think they sing, they just screech in pain.
I remember the first time I watched the movie Requiem for a Dream, a movie so shockingly powerful that it disturbed me to my core, yet allowed me to experience emotions few pieces of fictions had been able to make me feel. Its message has left an imprint on me that remains to this day and continues to be one of those films I'm glad I experienced but never wanted to watch again. I said exactly the same thing to myself after watching Takopi's Original Sin. This is one of those shows that leaves you completely drained, giving you the sinking feeling that drops down
So
to
why
your
you even
stomach.
want to watch it? Isn't anime like for relaxation or something like something.
At
Oh,
the end of every episode.
just to
Genre?
show a
Drama?
point.
No, this is a straight up horror anime for your emotions. It's about an alien, Takapi, from the planet Happy. All he wants to do is spread smiles and happiness without a single shred of negativity. He's the type of guy who'd hear about a racism problem and try to solve it by running. Now pair him with the Trauma Trio, 3 kids whose collective future therapist bill would equal the GDP of Norway. That's right.
Hey, little buddy, how are you doing?
Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my god. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's Japanese Smiling Friends. This is a series that
Oh.
wastes no time into throwing you into the absolute deep end of emotional trauma and letting you sink further from there. Watching the first episode of Takapi is like...
What? Violent.
And then the series just continues pounding your emotions into the ground. It presents you with some of the heaviest subjects a child can go through with no filters to help avert your eyes. If I had a nickel for every time one of these kids got whipped by a belt, I'd have 0 nickels. Because their parents used a fist. Everyone is an asshole. Everyone is the worst kind of human they can possibly be. Then when you're shown that faint ray of sunlight at the end of the tunnel, your first instinct is to think, oh no. But that's not to say there is no point to all of this suffering. For how despicable some of these actions you witness are, it constantly reminds you that the biggest villains are the parents who failed them. Parental neglect, physical abuse, and worst of all, a law-accurate Asian mum. Each kid is a product of their own toxic environment, and for how suffocatingly pessimistic this show can be, it never devolves into being downright cynical. It's an important reminder of how trauma can be passed on, how the worst environments can shape the worst people, and no matter how hard life can be, nothing is more suffocating than having to deal with it alone. Because in the end, aren't the friends we made, the trauma bonding we did along the way?
I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch it.
Job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
They even beat Charlo?
Settle up.
Yeah,
2026 is now officially the year of the horse, but unfortunately, Uma Musume didn't get that memo because, like your typical gacha gamer, it came a bit early. This was the year the internet collectively fell into the Uma Musume rabbit hole, and Cinderella
And
Grey
I still-
embodies every damn reason of why this
I don't
franchise
see it,
became a
like,
global
much
phenomenon. This
right
is the
now
highest intensity,
on Twitter.
no bullshit, all-action sports anime to come out in 2025, delivering that level of jump-out-of-your-seat hype in every single episode you put on. You are given little room to breathe, going from one race to the next. Every match injecting that burst of adrenaline your body starts to crave. If you were living under a rock last year, yes, there is a gacha game of the same IP. Yes, this is anthropomorphized horse girls
Imagine
running
riding
against
in
each other
Penthouse.
based on real historic races in Japan, which I've already talked about when I covered the show last month, but you don't need to know any of that to enjoy the spectacle it delivers.
I like this girl, by the way.
That rush as
This
you
character.
witness that last eruption is as addictive as any drug. You hear the roar of the crowd as the commentator eggs them on, as you watch athletes digging deeper than they ever have before. Suddenly, this janky-ass anime girl run becomes the most hype thing you've ever seen, as you shout out, "God, this is what peak performance looks like!" And then the race is over. You calm down, switch on the next episode, and experience it all again. Wait, that last paragraph sounded familiar. Was that ChatGPT? No, in fact, it was GigGPT, because I just copied it from myself. I've already said everything I have to say about it in that video, so you know what? I'll just let ChatGPT rewrite my own work to tell you again, in the style of Gigguk. That moment when the final eruption hits, your monkey brain just activates. The crowd is screaming. The commentator is absolutely losing it. The athletes are pushing past every physical limit known to mankind. And suddenly, this janky, low FPS anime girl run has your full, undivided soul.
Wait, what?
You're sitting there like, why am I this invested? As you stand up yelling, God, this is peak human performance at your screen like you've just witnessed the second coming. But it's sponsored by questionable animation shortcuts, and then it ends. You blink.
Low
You
FPS, yeah.
remember you're an adult. You sigh, click the next episode, and willingly let it happen to you all over again. Because anime has once again tricked you into feeling emotions through sheer bullshit and spectacle. What the fuck does ChatGPT think I sound like?
The wanker.
You can go watch my actual video if you want to hear everything I have to say.
The last
about
time I
it.
felt
That's
some
the
emotions
GPT
was in
never could.
Avenging my
I
heart.
promise I'm gonna stop blazing my own work now. Anyway,
So, yeah.
number 3.
Okay, that's a
Bam,
big
Boundaries
ticket.
of Adulthood. This was a new anime made by a fairly new creator in the industry.
あなたに出会ったら毎日がとても
This looks cute.
Attention spans are fucked. Memes are incomprehensible. I can't be the only one who feels like every day I see something that makes me lose IQ until my last remaining brain cells are stuck there on life support, powering the last bit of sentient thought I have. But this year, there was no show that healed my soul more than watching Apocalypse Hotel. In an era of brain rot,
Yeah,
this one gave me pure
there need to be
brain
at least
light.
one show like
Apocalypse
this.
Hotel is a different kind of slice of life. It has all the hallmarks that make up the genre. A quieter, subdued
At least
approach
one
to
show, at least
storytelling,
one.
charming characters, a whimsical, bright air that complements its calming atmosphere. And then you keep watching.
Usually that's isekai for me. I just shut my brain off, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Brain rot in this one. Doomslayer Tanukis, Power Rangers fighting Kangaroo Thanos, a fucking mech battle in the middle of a desolate cityscape. You can put on an episode and have no idea what kind of unhinged shenanigans you're going to encounter next, but behind the chaos and the laughter, it constantly delivers a story with a heart few series are able to reach. A door-opening robot that fails at opening doors, a hospitality
stupid!
robot with no one left to
Clank.
serve, a
Oh.
hotel that opens to a place with a population of 0. This is a world with no meaning, where characters are forced to find their own. How is it? Do you find purpose in a place
That's like
where
playing
there is none?
sandbox games.
Watching this band of lovable misfits
That's why some
allows you to reflect about the purpose
people
you
don't
may
like
be
sandbox
missing from
games.
your
For
own
example,
life.
7 Days
It's
to
a
Die,
show so
Minecraft,
hopelessly
yeah.
optimistic, steeped in layers
They
of
don't know how to
melancholy,
find a
story
purpose to
set
play
in
the
a
game.
bleak place where
That's
no
a kid
hope
shit.
should be able to be found, yet
What-
it
from
still
what I
is
heard,
able
yeah.
to greet you with the warmest
It's
smile.
like
For
kin shit.
years, decades, centuries
They put you
pass
on a
in the
desert,
blink of an eye.
do whatever you want.
Characters you love age, move on. All that is familiar around you slowly begins to change, always reminding you that time will continue to move, with or without you. It may be painful, but it's life, and it can be a lot brighter if you let it be. Episode 11 might just be my favorite slice of life episode of all time. An episode that breaks convention. It doesn't try to be entertaining, it doesn't try to tell you everything. It sits you down, shuts out the noise around you, and allows you to just feel. Ending it with a line that made me stop, walk away for a moment, and remind myself that through all the chaos, life can be pretty damn wonderful. This is the kind of magical feeling this show gives you. It doesn't just show you a slice of life, it reminds you what living that life means in the first place.
Yeah. That's a big territory.
Was this supposed to be
Don't tell me. It actually deserved. Even for fans of this fucking shit, it's annoying as
Shonen
fuck.
action shows are the lifeblood of the anime industry. They are the most popular, have the most influence, and are very often some of the very first anime we end up watching. It's these shows that help shape a young generation of people, and I certainly can't forget what they instilled into me. As a kid too young to understand anything, I saw heroes fighting against evil to protect the things they stand for. They stood up for those who couldn't, represented all the good in the world, and though I grew up and realized the real world isn't as simple or idealistic as the one portrayed in the realm of fiction, it's these stories that help set me on the right path. It gave me hope. It gave me role models. It taught me about the person I should aspire to be. To me, this is what shonen is meant to be about. This is the shonen I grew up with. This is the shonen I know, and I don't think many shows have distilled that concept down as purely
I watched
as My
Naruto
Hero Academia
on a
has.
disc.
Regular viewers will know that I've had an up and down relationship with this franchise. I instantly fell in love in season 1, watched it explode in popularity in season 2 and 3, then gradually fell out of favor as other shows took the spotlight, but I always kept watching in hopes that it could at least end with a bang. And now, 10 years later,
yeah.
I can wholeheartedly say, boy, did it ever. This final season delivered a spectacle worthy of the legacy it will leave. And now that it's all over, looking back, I feel like My Hero Academia came out in a strange transitionary period. In a time where its contemporaries were getting darker, getting weirder, getting bloodier, it almost felt like MHA was the squeaky clean, straight-laced student in a classroom of delinquents. And
I really
yet,
want to watch it.
managed to achieve
Like
what so
fully.
many long-running
But
series
since,
have failed to do. For after 10 years of characters, action,
Season 1 to
drama,
season
and
what,
development, it was able
6
to
or
close
10?
out standing tall,
I want to
shouting
watch
a
it,
clear
yeah.
and concise message for the world to hear that stayed completely true to what it always was.
I watched clips.
Anyone can be a hero.
This was insane.
Anyone should try to be a hero, even if it's just for the people around you. It's hopeful, it's optimistic, it's somewhat maybe cheesy, but it is very, My Hero Academia. This may not go down in history as everyone's favorite show, but I will remember it as a testament of what the beating heart of shonen should be. We will always need heroes. We will always need hope. We will always need a story like this. And at the end of this era,
Being
I'm
anime
glad
like
it was
Bleach,
there to remind us one
Naruto,
last time.
Uzumaki, yeah, Naruto. We need shows like this. Let's go right now. I don't count One Piece as this show, yeah.
この世には様々な人がいる。こんなに大勢いるのに
だんだんだん
同じ人はいない。そりゃ、
Yeah.
争いは絶えないでしょ。
何度でも
In my line of work, I watch a lot of shows. I remember a lot of shows, but rarely do I have the time to go back and rewatch them. It's only when something truly lingers, a story that grabs hold and follows me, that occupies my mind whenever I have a free moment, that one line that sticks with me not because it was witty or punchy, but because it touched on something deep, something meaningful, something real. I've rewatched Orb on the Movements of the Earth more times this year than any other shows from the past 10 years, and yet I am still as moved, as awestruck, as absolutely mesmerized as the first time I watched it. Why am I telling you all this?
わからない。私の感動を必死に伝えてる。
This was a show that, when half done,
It's like
put us
reaching
fourth on my list
Stan's Gate.
last year, not knowing that when I finished the entire thing, it would become my anime of the decade. That's a big statement, and you may not agree. You may have other shows you prefer. It may not have hit you the same way it hits me, but that is my truth. And for a moment, I wanted to invite you to see what that truth meant. A show like this comes along only a few times in a generation. It is not only one of the most original, beautiful, and nigh on unpredictable series to come out
It's
in
all about
modern
writing.
times, but
It's
it's
all
one of
about
those
writing.
stories that has the power to teach you something about
Yeah.
yourself. Without preaching, without telling you what's correct, it presents you with profound ideas and helps guide you to find your own answers. Orb is an anime about heliocentrism. It's about proving the Earth moves around the sun, but also it's a story about truth, about people who fight for truth, about the lengths people will go to prove truth, about people who have their truths challenged and respond to it without disrespecting the person that challenged it.
Right.
An egotistical priest putting his trust in the wisdom of a peasant, a devout believer defending the words of an atheist. The heroes of the story are not the ones who are right, it's the ones who are willing to accept that they could be wrong, who will listen to those that oppose them and try to understand even if they don't necessarily agree. These are the people that embody the human spirit.
This sounds generic,
that
but
together ignite a flame
how
that
he sound, make it,
transcends
yeah,
lifetimes.
make it
Every
sound,
character
yeah.
is memorable, every
This
line
sound-
powerful, every
you can
journey
say tasty,
poetic.
yeah.
This is simply one of
It's
the
kinda-
most beautiful stories I've ever
It sounds
witnessed.
touchy, yeah,
And the
I
more time
almost
that's
don't put you,
passed since
but
I first finished it, the more times
this
I've
sounds
watched it
generic,
over this year,
but,
the stronger its message has resonated with me as I looked out.
I'm
and
gonna,
saw
I'm
the
not gonna
world
watch it,
as
yeah,
is
if I
today.
have time, yeah.
Unlike the world of Orb, we live in a time
Maybe
when
on Steam,
information
but-
is more readily available than it ever
yeah.
has been, and yet truth has never felt so hard to find. Technology that should have allowed us to grow closer has divided us even further. Knowledge is no longer the currency we lack. It's trust. A lack of trust that has eroded the respect we have of our
But yeah.
fellow person. Ideas are not built on, they are condensed down,
Oi, 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 oi.
dismantled, and publicly shamed. Everyone is a soldier, enlisted to
this
fight
sounds
in an
generic.
ideological
What-
war of exchanges, where common ground is no man's land and the winner is decided not by who is more right, but who can prove the other side more wrong.
Yeah,
How do I,
that's
how
how
does
the world works,
anyone
yeah.
navigate the landscape we are currently in? And I think that's why
I'm saying
I
this,
was
but
just
maybe
so
in the end I'm gonna
constantly
like it,
drawn back
but-
to this series. A story like this is the reminder I needed that the world doesn't have to work like this. That progress is made through collaboration, not dissociation. That, disagree or not, we are still in this together, in an era that will be shaped by our collective hands.
I'm glad to build an area
Whether
together.
any of us have the right answer or not, it's thanks to this show
There is no right
that
answer.
I remembered.
There is
As
no-
long as you can continue to question whether you are right.
不正解は無意味を意味しない。
何かを知るということだ。
地動説を信仰してる。このためにわざわざ生まれてきた。
きっと迷いの中に倫理がある。筆教。それは
You can
知性
make
だ。
even a fucking dog
won't
shit
find the wrong answer.
troop, if you have a turn to a good troop, yeah. If you have a good writing, yeah. As always. Oh yeah. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and I'm gonna make up more reaction videos. Why not? Yeah, why not? And I'm gonna go.